Tonight, on a special edition of News 24 at 10, we have live coverage of Hurricane Florence. Plus, more than a year after Brenda and Burl Richardson's death at their home in Murfreesboro, Jackson County Judge Ralph Bloodworth convicted the man responsible. More coming up. And Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner made his case to voters with less than 2 months to go until Election Day. Those stories and more tonight on a busy Thursday night edition of News 24 at 10. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. It is Thursday, September 13th, 2018. We have a lot of news to get to this evening, but we begin with a live look at Hurricane Florence. It is still currently a Category 2 hurricane, roughly 70 miles off of the North Carolina coast. The center or eye of the hurricane expected to pass just north of Wilmington, North Carolina. Tonight already more than 100,000 people without power. Hopefully many of them are not there to experience that and have evacuated, but still yet there will be damage. The eye wall expected to make landfall within the next 9 hours, and this is just phase 1 of the storm. News 24's Terry Rodriguez is here in the studio to explain to us what is currently happening in this storm and the projected landfall. Terry, what are you seeing tonight? All right, and Terry, I want to keep you on here with us for just a moment. We heard that places could see up to 30 inches of rain, but you were talking about that storm surge. Why is that so deadly? And you also mentioned that gas station completely blown away on live air. We were watching that live here on the Weather Channel. About how strong do gusts have to get to cause that? All right, thanks, Terry. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. But now to the local news. We begin in Murfreesboro, where more than a year after Brenda and Burl Richardson's death at their home in Murfreesboro, Jackson County Judge Ralph Bloodworth convicted the man responsible. Prosecutor Casey Bloodworth, no relation, convinced the judge, Keith Richardson, shot both of his parents. The couple's 41-year-old son lived with them for 4 years following a divorce where he says he lost everything. Prosecutor Bloodworth said that Richardson grew tired of his parents arguing about his presence in their home and his drinking over and over again. The prosecutor played Richardson's own words from a police interview. The prosecutor said there were some things Richardson could never answer, like why he felt comfortable drinking and smoking in the living room before checking on his parents, since neither of them allowed that in the house. Richardson's lawyer, public defender Peggy Dagon, said there was no motive to the shooting and that Richardson's story kept changing because detectives kept pushing him. Judge Bloodworth disagreed and convicted Richardson on each count he faced. He scheduled sentencing for November 9th, and Richardson faces a minimum of 90 years in prison. Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner made his case to voters with less than 2 months to go until Election Day today. In a 30-minute long speech today, Rauner reflected on his 4 years as governor and the lessons he's learned as head of state. Rauner says when he initially ran, a businessman with no government experience, he didn't expect the obstacles and opposition he faced on every reform he tried to implement. Rauner says when he took office, he was discouraged by the pace of government and often tried to push through changes only to increase the partisan divide. If re-elected, he claims he will work more across the aisle because despite their differences, both Republicans and Democrats are working to better the state. Rauner also used the opportunity to hit on a key theme of his campaign that Democrat J.B. Pritzker would be too expensive for Illinois. In a statement, Pritzker said, while Bruce Rauner finally admitted his failures today, it's too little too late as he's forced 4 years of destruction and devastation on Illinois' working families. I'm running for governor to clean up Bruce Rauner's mess, and I'll be the leader we need to get this state back on track. The Cesar-Valier School District will be able to upgrade technology thanks to a $25,000 grant. It's the third time the district has received these funds from Monsanto's America's Farmers Grow Rural Education Program. High school principal Natalie Page says local farmers helped to make it all possible. Teachers applied for the funds in the spring and found the district had been selected shortly into the school year. The funds will be used to purchase 75 Chromebook laptops and smart microscopes that have the ability to transfer information to computers or smart boards. The equipment will be used by students in kindergarten all the way up to high school seniors. Brooke Williams, who teaches high school biology, says she's looking forward to using the new technology. Williams says the new microscopes will also help replace ones that were being used before she was hired 16 years ago and give students more hands-on experience, especially with their human cells unit. The district's technology coordinator is currently in the process of ordering the equipment. A check presentation will also take place during halftime of its varsity football game Friday, September 14th. Teachers, Monsanto representatives, and the local farmers who nominated the district will all be present. Much more local news, sports, and weather, plus more on Hurricane Florence is coming up next on this special edition of News 24 at 10. But first, here's your Fox News Update. Fox News Update.
In Fox News. Pummeling the Southeast. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A final warning from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper as the effects of Hurricane Florence begin to be felt in the Southeast.
Is anyone still unwilling to take this storm seriously? Let me be clear. You need to get yourself to a safe place now and stay there.
More than 80,000 people without power in North Carolina alone.
The people here who are either watching their homes and their communities on television or those who have decided to ride this one out have got a long, long way to go. Florence is effectively slowed down now. It's just creeping along. Ordinarily, when you're in an area like this, that is the worst of the worst, if you will, it only lasts a couple of hours. This is going to be about 24 hours of hurricane-force winds that we're just now really feeling the real effects of. The rising tide now is coming in, which is a terrible combination with a storm surge that will certainly destroy this dock and then send these dock sections into town to destroy anything and everything in its path.
Fox's Leland Fittard in Morehead City, North Carolina. The company that owns gas lines in the communities near Boston performing safety checks after a series of fires and explosions in 3 towns north of Boston.
At least 4 people were hurt in the fires caused by gas explosions in the towns of Andover, North Andover, and Lawrence. Dozens of homes burning, forcing entire neighborhoods to evacuate. Andover Town Manager Andrew Flanagan.
We do not yet have a timeline. People should expect this is going to be a while before they're going to be able to return to their home.
And Lawrence City Councilor Kendries Vasquez says criminals are already trying to capitalize on the tragedy.
People have gotten phone calls already asking for money to assist victims of the fire. Please understand that that's probably a scam.
The cause of the blasts remains under investigation.
Fox's Steve Rappaport, Fox News, fair and balanced.
Stop.
Ignite your passion for grapefruit and spirits at Flame. Flame Grill and Bar, now open for lunch and dinner in Carbondale.
He's been called tenacious, a fighter, Southern Illinois' principled and compassionate leader. That's Mike Bost. He's taken on foreign governments to combat unfair trade practices that destroy American jobs, stood up to the entrenched bureaucracy, and worked to clean up the VA so veterans get the care they deserve. Led the charge for the bipartisan solution to make our schools safer for students. Mike Bost, a proven leader we can trust.
Another night of watching TV. Outlaw Motorsports has the largest inventory in the area. Their friendly staff is always ready to answer your questions. Outlaw Motorsports.
Hey.
Fun into your family. Outlaw Motorsports, Harrisburg, Illinois. We don't have what you need. We have what you want.
Jennifer, she was a straight A student until she got to middle school. I have this angel statue, and Jennifer fell back up against it, and they put a gash in her back. They prescribed her the Viking. I mean, she took them the way she was supposed to, but somehow it still grabbed a hold of her. The day that she died, my mom was like, "What County just pulled up." I just remember seeing my oldest daughter come running out of the porch because I'm telling my mom that she's gone.
It's the huge flood of money into our politics. Big pharmaceutical companies give money to members of Congress, and Congress lets them continue the cycle of addiction. I was the first prosecutor in Illinois to fight Big Pharma. We gotta hold them accountable.
Brendan has stepped up to the plate.
I'm Brendan Kelly, and I approve this message.
At the Home Depot, you can get the highest quality paint in America at the lowest price, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can find a higher price, but you can't find a better paint. Now get Behr Premium Plus starting at $25.98. The Home Depot.
Just kidding out there. All right, thanks, Terry. We're going to get back to you in just a moment for more on Hurricane Florence. But first, we are turning to Carbondale this evening, where Halloween is coming to Carbondale, and the city is working to make it a family-friendly event with a fall festival. The city of Carbondale says the tentative dates for the event are October 27th, leading up to Halloween. Fox said there was a festival committee formed after hearing from local business owners after the eclipse about the city having a signature event each year. The city banned Halloween festivities in the downtown area in 2001 after a riot erupted on the street, destroying businesses and certain areas of the city. City officials tell News 24 bringing back the festivities will help business in the area. Steve Payne, the owners of Quattro's Pizza in Carbondale, said he's thrilled to have the former long-standing tradition back. As for the city leaders, are preparing for people to enjoy their new and safer Halloween with beefed up security. The festival would include a 5K race, family-centered, child-friendly events like pumpkin races, and arts and craft vendors. Much more news, sports, and weather is coming up next. Plus, we have the latest on Hurricane Florence after the break.
Gentlemen, I have just received word. The Louisiana Purchase is complete.
Instant purchase notifications from Capital One, so you won't miss a purchase. Large, small, or very large. Technology this helpful could make history.
What's in your wallet?
Out the store or to your door. Target run and done.
So what you're saying is, with life insurance from State